Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into firm resilience,
Uh,
that almost magical ability of companies to not just survive when things get tough,
right.
but to actually come out stronger on the other side.
Yeah?
And we're taking a deep dive into a study
Okay.
that reviewed 66 different articles
Well,
on this very topic, published in the European Management Journal. So,
oh, very cool.
it's legit.
Yeah,
Are you ready to really unpack what resilience means for a company?
absolutely. I think it's a lot more complex than most people think.
Yeah, the first thing that really jumped out at me from all this research was that there isn't really one simple definition of resilience. It's
Right.
kind of like everyone knows it when they see it,
Yeah.
but trying to actually pin it down and define it
Yeah.
is surprisingly tough.
You're absolutely right. And, it's tempting to just sort of borrow definitions from
Yeah.
other fields like engineering or ecology,
Mhm.
but those, they don't quite fit when we're specifically talking about businesses.
Right.
So what this study does is it gives us a working definition
Okay.
that I think really gets to the core of what firm resilience is.
Okay. So, what's the secret formula?
Well, this study suggests that resilience is less of um, a single quality
Okay.
and more of a process
Okay.
that unfolds over time.
Okay.
It actually starts before a crisis even hits
Interesting.
and involves learning from the past
Right.
to prepare for the future.
So it's not just about reacting in the moment when something happens. It's
Exact.
about being proactive
Yeah.
and having a plan in place.
Yeah.
I like it.
And that preparation
Yeah.
involves building up these specific capabilities
Yeah.
that can help your company handle whatever comes its way.
Okay, so capabilities, huh? So we're not talking about just like having a positive attitude and hoping for the best.
Haha, definitely not.
Okay.
This research actually breaks down resilience into two distinct paths.
Two paths.
Yeah. They call them absorptive
Okay.
and adaptive.
Okay, two paths to resilience. This is interesting. Tell me more.
All right. So imagine two companies
Okay.
that get hit by the same crisis.
Okay.
One company, they hunker down.
Okay.
They protect their core operations.
Okay.
They ride out the storm.
Okay.
The other company, they transform themselves.
Okay.
They adapt to this new landscape,
All right.
and they maybe even reinvent their entire business model.
Okay.
Both can be resilient.
Okay. So different approaches,
Yeah.
but both leading to success.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see why there's not one simple definition.
Right.
Now, the absorptive path, you mentioned this
Yeah.
is all about maintaining stability,
Yes.
protecting your core business functions,
Exactly.
building a fortress.
Yes. A
Mhm.
fortress that can withstand anything.
Okay, so if absorptive resilience is like a fortress, what makes it so strong?
Well, this study
Mm-hmm.
digs into three key capabilities for this path:
Yeah.
redundancy, robustness, and agility.
Okay.
Think of it like a three-legged stool
Okay.
that helps support your company during those difficult times.
Okay. Redundancy. That makes me think about backups. Fail safes, right?
Yes.
Like having extra inventory.
Yeah, yeah.
Or multiple suppliers just in case one falls through.
Exactly. You're anticipating those potential problems.
Right.
And you're putting backup plans in place.
So it's not about hoarding resources at the first sign of trouble. It's about being strategic.
Yeah.
It's about foresight,
Yes.
planning ahead.
Precisely. It's like having a spare tire in your car.
Right.
You hope you never need it,
Right.
but you're sure glad it's there when you do.
Absolutely. Okay, so redundancy is about backup plans.
Yeah.
What about robustness?
Okay.
Does that just mean being tough, being
Definitely.
strong?
Being able to withstand a shock is definitely part of it.
Okay.
But robustness also involves knowing where you might be vulnerable
Okay.
and proactively strengthening those weak points.
Okay.
It's like getting a stress test for your business.
Okay.
So not just being strong, but knowing where you could be weak
Right, right.
and fixing it before it becomes a problem.
This reminds me of those companies that seemed almost invincible
Yeah.
during like the 2008 financial crisis.
Yeah.
It wasn't just luck, right?
Right.
They had built-in robustness
Yes.
to withstand those kinds of shocks.
Exactly. They may have had strong financial reserves,
Right.
a diversified portfolio,
Yeah.
or Robust risk management strategies already in place.
Yeah, fascinating. So we've covered redundancy, robustness.
Yeah.
What about that third leg of the stool?
Loudly.
Agility.
Agility.
Yeah.
Agility is all about reacting quickly and effectively
Okay.
to those unexpected events.
Yeah.
It's about having systems in place
Okay.
that allow you to make decisions fast
Right.
and communicate clearly.
So it's not just speed, it's also coordination and clarity.
Yes, yes.
Like a well choreographed dance almost.
Exactly. Exactly.
I can see how that would be crucial in a crisis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Think about those companies that quickly pivoted their production lines
Yeah. Yeah.
during the pandemic
Right.
to make hand sanitizer,
Right.
face masks, things like that.
Yeah, those companies really impressed me just with how quickly they were able to adapt.
They were able to identify a need,
Right.
make a decision,
Yeah.
and reconfigure their operations in record time.
Yeah.
That's what agility allows you to do.
Okay, so we've unpacked the absorptive path to resilience.
Yeah.
Having backup resources, being able to withstand those shocks,
Yeah.
being quick on your feet.
Yeah.
What about the adaptive path?
The adaptive path. This is less about weathering the storm
Okay.
and more about riding the waves of change.
So it sounds a little less fortress and more like a chameleon blending into a new environment.
You got it.
Yeah.
So instead of hunkering down,
Okay.
adaptive resilience is about evolving with the times.
Okay.
Maybe even reinventing yourself if that's what's necessary.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What kind of company would go the adaptive route?
Okay, so let's say a company realizes that their core product
Okay.
is becoming obsolete.
Okay.
An absorptive approach
Sure.
might focus on cost cutting,
Okay.
trying to squeeze out a few more years of profitability.
Right.
But an adaptive company might say, hey, this is a chance to develop a new product,
Right.
enter a new market,
Yeah.
or even completely reimagine our business.
Right. That's a bold move. But I can see how it could pay off big time if you get it right.
Right. And just like with the absorptive path,
Yeah.
there are key capabilities
Okay.
that help companies thrive
Okay.
with this adaptive approach.
So if I want to be a business chameleon, what do I need in my toolkit?
Well, this study highlights 3 key capabilities for that:
Okay.
resourcefulness, adaptability, and flexibility.
Okay. Resourcefulness. That makes me think about being good at using what you have.
Yeah.
Like being a MacGyver
Oh,
of business.
That's a great analogy. But it's not just about being thrifty.
Okay.
It's about having a diverse set of assets and resources
Okay.
to draw on when things get tough.
Okay.
This goes beyond finances,
Okay.
and it includes things like your team's diverse skills and expertise, strong networks and partnerships, even a strong company culture that can handle change.
So it's like having a well-stocked toolbox
Yeah.
with a variety of tools, not just a hammer.
Exactly.
Uh,
And that variety gives you options
Right.
when you need to adapt.
Right. I can see how that would make you less reliant on any single thing
Uh-huh.
and more able to pivot when the situation demands it.
Exactly.
Okay, so resourcefulness is key.
Yeah.
What about adaptability?
Adaptability in this context is about being a learning organization,
Okay.
always gathering information,
Okay.
analyzing trends,
Right.
being willing to adjust course
Okay.
as needed.
So it's being able to read the signals,
Yeah.
see the writing on the wall,
Yes.
adjust your sails accordingly.
Exactly. It's about being open to new ideas
Right.
and new approaches rather than getting stuck in old ways of doing things.
Yeah, doesn't that kind of tie into the idea of cognitive resilience you mentioned before?
Absolutely.
Like having the right mindset as
Yeah.
a company to be able to handle change.
Companies with high adaptability,
Yeah.
they see change as an opportunity
Right.
rather than a threat.
Yeah.
They embrace ambiguity.
Okay.
They're comfortable not having all the answers right away.
This makes me think of those companies that have successfully reinvented themselves over the years.
Yes.
Like, going from selling books
Right.
to becoming tech giants. They didn't just survive that disruption. They adapted and it came out stronger.
That's a fantastic example. And it really underscores how important adaptability is for long-term success.
Okay, so we've covered resourcefulness and adaptability.
Yeah.
That brings us to that final capability on the adaptive path. Flexibility.
Yeah.
And I have to admit, this one seems a little intimidating.
It can be, because flexibility is often about making those tough decisions,
Yeah.
being willing to pivot,
Right.
even if it means letting go of something that used to work really well.
So it's not just about being open to change.
Right.
It's about taking action,
Exactly.
making those difficult choices.
It could mean changing your business model,
Okay.
adjusting your product offerings,
Right.
even even entering a whole new market,
Right.
if that's what the situation calls for.
Wow. That takes a lot of courage, not to mention a willingness to take risks.
It does. But we're talking about calculated risks here, informed by your understanding of that changing landscape.
Right.
So it's not jumping ship on a whim.
Okay.
It's more like charting a new course
Yeah.
based on where you see the winds blowing.
Okay. That makes me feel better. So you're using your adaptability to read
Yeah.
the environment
Yeah.
and then your flexibility to make those tough calls.
Exactly. And this combination of adaptability and flexibility
Mhm.
has allowed many companies not only to survive, but to thrive
Yeah.
in the face of technological disruption, market shifts, all sorts of unexpected challenges.
Okay, so we've covered both paths to resilience.
Right.
The sturdy fortress and the ever-changing chameleon. It's amazing to see how different approaches
Mm.
can both lead to success.
And that's the key takeaway from this research.
Yeah.
There's no one-size-fits-all solution when
Right.
it comes to resilience,
Yeah.
the right path,
Yeah.
and the specific capabilities you need to develop really depend on your company,
Right.
your industry,
Yeah.
and the specific challenges that you're facing.
So there's no magic formula, but there are definitely some key ingredients
Right.
that can help any company build that resilience.
Exactly. And what's really exciting is that the research is showing
Mhm.
that building these capabilities doesn't just help you survive tough times.
Oh, okay.
It can actually lead to long-term competitive advantage.
Wait, so resilience isn't just about playing defense.
No.
It can actually be a winning strategy.
Absolutely.
Tell me more about that.
Well, think about it from the perspective of a customer,
Okay.
investor, or even a potential employee.
Right.
Who are they more likely to trust,
Yeah.
want to work with?
Yeah.
A company that crumbles at the first sign of trouble,
Right.
or one that has a proven track record
Yeah.
of navigating those challenges
Yeah.
and coming out on top.
You're right. Like a
Yeah.
history of resilience
Yes.
could be a powerful signal of stability and strength,
Yeah.
especially in today's unpredictable world.
Absolutely.
It's like a superpower that sets you apart from the competition.
Exactly. And that's why I think this whole area of resilience
Mm-hmm.
is so fascinating and so important for businesses to really understand.
Yeah.
It's not just about surviving. It's about thriving.
So we've been talking about resilience as the superpower.
Yeah.
But is there any way to actually measure how resilient a company is?
That's a great question.
Like, can you get a resilience score?
That's actually one of the things the researchers highlighted
Okay.
as needing more study.
Oh, really?
It turns out measuring resilience is trickier than you might think.
Really? It seems like you could just look at a company's financial performance during tough times. If
Yeah.
they're still profitable, they must be resilient. Right?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
For one thing, resilience is about more than
Okay.
just financial performance.
Okay.
It's also about adaptability,
Right.
innovation, employee well-being,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of other factors
Yeah.
that are harder to quantify.
So you can't just like put a number on it and say, yep, this company has a resilience score of 8.5 out of 10.
Not yet, at least. There's definitely a need for more research
Okay.
on how to measure these outcomes of resilience
Yeah.
in a meaningful and consistent way.
That makes sense. It's kind of like trying to measure happiness.
Exactly.
Everyone knows what it feels like, but it's
Oh.
really hard to capture in a simple number.
Exactly. And this is an area where I think we'll see a lot more research in the coming years.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because I'm really curious to see how these different capabilities
Yeah.
really play out in the real world.
Me too.
Hmm.
And that actually brings up another area
Okay.
where more research is needed.
Okay.
Understanding how these 6 capabilities work together.
You mean like does having strong redundancy make you more agile?
Exactly.
Or does being super resourceful make you more adaptable?
We've talked about each capability kind of in isolation,
Yeah.
but in reality, they're all interconnected.
It's like an ecosystem almost,
Yes.
where where each element impacts the others. So you might be strong in one area,
Right.
but weak in another, and that could actually undermine your overall resilience.
That's a great way to think about it. And this is where things get really interesting
Okay.
because it suggests that building resilience
Hmm.
isn't just about checking boxes,
Right.
making sure you have all 6 capabilities.
Okay.
It's about understanding how they interact,
Yeah.
how they reinforce each other
Okay.
within your specific company
Yeah.
and your industry.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Yeah,
You really need to tailor your resilience strategy to your unique circumstances.
Precisely, and that brings up another important point.
Okay.
The context in which a company operates
Yeah.
plays a huge role
Mm.
in shaping its resilience.
Okay. So are you saying that that a tech startup might need different resilience capabilities
I've-
than say like a century-old manufacturing company?
Exactly. The challenges they face,
Right.
the resources they have access to,
Yeah.
even the cultures they operate in
Mm.
are all going to be different.
That makes sense. It's kind of like the nature versus nurture debate in psychology. Are some companies just born more resilient
Yeah,
because of the industry they're in?
right.
Or is resilience something you can cultivate regardless of your circumstances?
That's a fantastic question. And it's one that researchers are still grappling with.
Okay.
It's likely a bit of both.
Okay.
Some industries naturally lend themselves
Right.
to certain types of resilience.
Yeah.
But there's also a lot that companies can do
Yeah.
to proactively build,
Okay.
strengthen their resilience, regardless of their industry
Yeah.
or their context.
This is all really fascinating, but I have to admit we've been talking a lot about organizational capabilities,
Mm.
systems and processes.
Right.
But at the end of the day, companies are made up of people.
Yes.
What about the human side of resilience?
You're absolutely right. We can talk all day long about backup servers,
Right.
diversified suppliers,
Yeah.
but ultimately it's the people who are making the decisions,
Right.
adapting to change,
Yeah.
and implementing these resilient strategies.
So are you saying that a company with resilient employees is inherently more resilient as a whole?
It stands to reason,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If you have a team of people who are adaptable,
Right.
resourceful,
Okay.
able to bounce back from setbacks,
Hmm.
that's going to make the entire company more resilient.
That makes me think about that idea of grit
Yeah.
that's become so popular in psychology.
Yeah.
Do companies with more gritty employees tend to be more resilient?
That's a great question, and one that researchers are starting to explore.
Okay.
And it makes intuitive sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you have employees who are persistent,
Right.
flexible,
Okay.
embrace challenges, the company as a whole is going to be better equipped to handle whatever comes its way.
It's like having a team of superheroes.
Yes. I love that analogy.
Each with their own unique powers,
Yeah.
but all working together to save the day.
And it highlights the importance of not just focusing on systems and processes when you're building resilience,
Right.
but also investing in developing the resilience of your people.
So it's not just about having a plan.
Right.
It's about having the right people
Yes.
to execute that plan.
Exactly. And this speaks to the interdisciplinary nature of resilience research.
Okay.
We need to draw insights from psychology,
Right.
organizational behavior,
Okay.
leadership studies,
Yeah.
all sorts of other fields to really get a complete picture of how to cultivate resilience in individuals,
Okay.
teams, and organizations.
I love that idea. It's like resilience is a puzzle.
Yes,
We need all these different pieces to really see that full picture.
that's a perfect way to put it. And the more we understand about those individual pieces
Yeah.
and how they fit together, the better equipped we'll be to help companies build true, lasting resilience.
So as we start to wrap up our deep dive
Mhm.
into this topic, what would you say is the most important thing for our listener to take away from all this?
I think the key takeaway is that resilience is not a destination.
Okay.
It's a journey.
Okay.
It's an ongoing process that requires constant learning, adaptation, and a willingness to embrace change.
And it's a journey worth taking, right?
Absolutely. In today's world building, resilience is no longer a nice to have.
Right.
It's a necessity for survival
Uh-huh.
and success.
I completely agree. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's one final thought you'd leave our listener with about firm resilience?
You know, what fascinates me
Yeah.
is that research is only beginning to uncover the long-term benefits of resilience.
Intriguing. Tell me more.
Well, I believe that a company's ability to weather a crisis
Okay.
could become a competitive advantage in itself.
So not just surviving, but thriving
Exactly.
because of their resilience.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Customers,
Yeah.
investors,
Okay.
and even employees
Right.
are more likely to be drawn to companies
Right.
that have proven their ability
Right.
to navigate those turbulent times.
Right. Like a track record of resilience could become a badge of honor almost.
Yes.
You know, a signal of stability and strength
In an
uncertain world.
Precisely. And this is an area I'm really excited to see more research on.
Okay.
What are the long-term competitive advantages of resilience?
Yeah.
Does a history of overcoming these challenges
Okay.
make companies more innovative,
Right.
more adaptable,
Okay.
and ultimately more successful?
That's a great question. It's like resilience becomes this superpower that sets companies apart in the long run.
Exactly. It's not just about bouncing back.
Right.
It's about bouncing forward,
Okay.
using those challenges
Yeah.
as a springboard for growth and innovation.
This has been a truly fascinating deep dive. I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding of what resilience really means for businesses.
It's a complex topic,
Yeah.
but a vital one. And remember,
Mhm.
resilience is a journey,
Right.
not a destination.
Okay.
It's something that companies need to continuously cultivate and develop.
So it's not a one-time fix.
Yeah.
But rather an ongoing commitment
Yes, well.
to to building those capabilities
Yeah.
and fostering that resilient mindset.
Precisely. And the beauty of it
Mhm.
is that those capabilities, once they're developed,
Yeah.
can be applied to a wide range
Yeah.
of challenges.
So whether it's a global pandemic,
Yeah.
a financial crisis, or even just the everyday disruptions of a competitive market, resilient companies are better equipped to adapt,
Yes.
innovate, and ultimately thrive.
Exactly. They have the tools and the mindset to navigate those challenges and come out stronger on the other side.
This has been such a valuable deep dive. Thank you for sharing your expertise with us and helping us unpack this crucial topic.
It's been my pleasure. And to you listening, I encourage you to keep exploring this topic. There's always more to learn
Right.
about how to build resilience in yourself, your
Yeah.
team, in your organization.
I couldn't agree more. And remember, the journey to resilience starts with a single step. What will yours be?
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Yeah, it really does feel like resilience is more than just bouncing back. It's about using those challenges to kind of propel yourself forward.
It is. It's almost like you're taking that energy
Yeah.
from that crisis and channeling it
Right.
into innovation and growth.
I love that visual. Resilience is a springboard. So I'm curious. You mentioned that research is really just starting to explore
Right.
these long-term benefits of resilience. Are there any early findings that have really surprised you?
Well, one thing that keeps coming up
Okay.
is this idea that a resilient company
Yeah.
becomes almost like a magnet
Okay.
for talent.
Oh, interesting.
People want to work for organizations
Right.
that have a proven track record of handling those challenges
Okay.
and supporting their employees through those tough times.
That makes sense. Like, who wouldn't want to be part of a team that knows how to weather the storm
Exactly.
and come out stronger on the other side?
And that talent attraction can be a huge competitive advantage.
Right.
You're able to attract and retain those
Yeah.
the best people,
Okay.
which in turn helps you to innovate,
Yeah.
stay ahead of the curve.
It's almost like a virtuous cycle. Resilience attracts talent,
Oh.
which fuels more innovation,
Right.
which leads to even greater resilience.
Exactly. And that's something I think a lot of companies are just starting to realize,
Yeah.
that resilience isn't just about risk management or crisis mitigation.
Right.
It's about building a sustainable, thriving organization
Okay.
that can adapt and evolve for the long haul.
You know, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive. And I have to say, it's really shifted my perspective on resilience.
Good.
I used to think about it as this sort of static quality. You either had it or you didn't.
Yeah.
But now I see it as more of a dynamic process,
Yes.
an ongoing journey of learning and growth.
And that's a really important distinction
Right.
because it means that anyone can build resilience.
Yeah.
It's not just something you're born with.
Right.
It's about making a commitment
Okay.
to developing those capabilities,
Right.
fostering that mindset,
Yeah.
and constantly learning from your experiences,
Yeah.
both good and bad.
And as you said earlier, it's a journey worth taking.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
In a world that's changing faster than ever,
Yeah.
resilience is the key to not just surviving, but
Right.
thriving.
This has been such a fascinating conversation. Thank you so much for joining us on the deep dive and sharing your insights
My pleasure.
on firm resilience.
And to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to keep diving deep into this topic. There's
Yeah.
always more to learn.
Yeah.
And the more you understand about resilience, the better equipped you'll be to navigate the challenges and the
Okay.
opportunities that lie ahead.
Couldn't agree more. So until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.